There are certain athletes who captured the imagination of the entire world. Whether it's because of their incredible highlight reel feats, their bombastic personality, or some unique combination of the two. Each generation has a few stars who transcend their spot to become genuine pop culture icons. For the 2010s, one man that undeniably fits this bracket is Conor McGregor.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
After setting out from humble beginnings in a suburb of Dublin, Ireland, the Notorious went on to become one of the biggest stars the sport has ever seen, bar none.
I'm a professional MMA fighter with a record of 4-1.
Once so successful that he claimed the #1 spot on the Forbes list of highest paid athletes, Conor truly got as close to being at the top of the world as it's conceivable to go. But where he was previously seen as the king in Ireland and abroad, things have reached the point where the nation that once seemed willing to go into battle for him have now turned their backs on their favorite son.
Who's the one Irish person you wish wasn't Irish?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, because he's a fucking clown.
Conor McGregor, lads, get him out.
Conor McGregor. That boxer, I can't remember his name.
Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
With what he's doing anyway.
And as controversies, court cases, and kilos of Colombia's finest pile up, there are many people who figure he might never recover.
Partying, constant partying, all these legal problems that he has, scooting around on yachts and driving around a Lamborghini. He's wealthy.
He's done.
Maybe.
It's your boy Lou Esta, live from Lou Extras, and this is the self-destruction of Conor McGregor. From the moment he knocked out Marcus Brimage in the first round of his UFC debut and demanded a shot at the top contenders, it was obvious Conor McGregor was announcing himself as the future of the sport.
Anything can happen, you can go and do it all. This is only the beginning for me. I'm not stopping, I'm going to take over. And like even in all the week, I felt like the start of this thing, I said I was going to steal the show, and we'll see the show still going, but I feel like I'm stealing the show. I feel like I've stole the show, stole everything. I'm going to steal all the money from the UFC, hightail it back to Ireland, big bag of money. Fuck the recession.
Conor's star power was apparent, and beyond that, he wasn't just talented, but driven to obtain everything that he wanted to achieve. But as everyone who remembers his rise will recall, the trash talk was every bit as pivotal to what he did in the cage.
Right here, the hardest hitting 145 pound, the real hardest hitting 145er right here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. They're not, who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Once he clambered up the ranks to a title shot, a stunning knockout of long-running UFC featherweight champ Jose Aldo within 13 seconds cemented the fact that a new king had arrived. And while there's often debate about UFC fighters being underpaid compared to athletes in similar positions, Conor punched in the golden ticket to generational wealth when he scheduled a boxing exhibition match with Floyd Mayweather.
Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Life is so fucking good. How do I look? What the fuck is he wearing? You're 40 years of age. Dress your fucking age. Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
Despite his narrow defeat in that bout, he maintained an otherworldly confidence. Because at the end of the day, fighting Floyd involved him transitioning into a world where Mayweather was undefeated, making it feel like a side quest rather than a real loss. With that swagger intact and his bank balance looking bigger than ever, this meant that he'd even argue with basketball players at a moment's notice, let alone fighters. And even as his antics continued to get wilder and wilder, this is something that's easy to relish from a public figure where they've never taken a major. Even when he humored into the cage to celebrate with a teammate at an MMA show and almost fought the ref in the process, people acted like it was just Conor being Conor.
Seconds left to go in the round. And look who's in to celebrate with him. The Notorious One. Wow, Conor McGregor trying to go at the referee. I don't know what's going on here. Who's the bodyguard now?
Ultimately, Conor was unstoppable because he believed he was. And as for the first 4 years of his career, the public did too, with fans flying out to Vegas in droves every single time he fought. But it only took one bout to shatter Conor's unwavering self-belief and cause a knock-on effect that left his reputation, life, insanity in tatters. And worst of all, lost him that reverence from the fans that helped power him to new heights. When it comes to the unraveling of the Notorious One, there's one man other than Conor who played a decisive hand in it. That individual is Khabib Nurmagomedov, and as two of the premier lightweights of all time, the two had an intense rivalry that came to a head when Conor literally hopped on a private jet to confront Khabib amid rumors that his team had tried to intimidate McGregor's training partner Artem Lobov. After a few roadblocks, the fight was booked, and once the two were in a room together once more, the animosity was clear to see.
For smash this guy. I don't wanna
Smash me,
talk.
mate. Smash me.
Don't wanna,
Smash me.
I can smash
You say send location. Here he is, right here in front of you. That I don't.
I'm gonna put him back to box. I'm gonna put book.
Bang off
Hey, you have to
In
fight.
fact, to this day, that pre-fight press conference was described by Dana White as the most sinister in the company's history.
I don't know if he always sounds like that. This is the darkest press conference I've ever been a part of. You know, when you talk about these guys truly not liking each other, if the incident that happened here in New York, there's no more evidence than that. I mean, and today was pretty dark press conference, I felt. And after everything that Conor said to Khabib today, you know, he held himself, he kept his cool, he held his composure, but you could tell that Khabib was boiling inside.
As it all went down, it was evident that to McGregor, this was no longer business. When he mocked the likes of Jose Aldo and Chap Mendes relentlessly in the lead up to their fight, there was always a sense that it wasn't personal. Instead, this was about that he had to emerge victorious. Not for money, but for honor. But despite what he intended to do when he stepped into the cage, the Conor McGregor spell was broken by Khabib, who not only defeated him, but let it be known that he never forgave nor forgot what went down before the fight.
Let's talk now.
In the aftermath, all hell broke loose, with Conor and Khabib's teams erupting into a fully fledged cage-side brawl.
He jumps the fence. No. And he's going right at Dylan Dennis. Mayhem. Oh, no. Total chaos here. It looks like UFC security has corralled Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, Khabib wasn't kidding when he said no handshake after the fight.
When all the carnage had settled down and Conor had a quiet moment to reflect, there was nothing left to do but cry. To say that Conor never got over this is an understatement. And in all fairness, Khabib was never exactly eager to let the whole thing go, and tension between them has remained. Actually, in Conor's case, it transitioned into a full-on war with the entire Dagestan community.
Yes.
Why coward? Why coward? My father, what do for you?
I was waiting this moment so long, and finally I cannot only fight, I can talk to you. Like I use this moment to like enjoy.
But this wasn't the only lasting effect. Since then, his professional career has been the same. Following a 2-year absence from the octagon, Conor seemed eager to get things back on track by way of a fight with Donald Cerrone. By that stage, Cowboy was very much in the twilight of his career, and it was clear that this was an attempt to provide the UFC's biggest star with a tune-up fight. But it wasn't enough, as soon after proclaiming that he was back and better than ever, he suffered back-to-back defeats at the hands of Dustin Poirier. And upon losing, Khabib was ready and waiting to twist the knife. This is what happens when you change your team, leave your sparring partners who made you a champion, and sparring with little kids, far away from reality. To begin with, Conor was humble and cordial. Prior to this, when he defeated Dustin during Conor's initial rise to the featherweight title, there had been some major heat, but it seemed like all that subsided. Yet, Dustin was a very different fighter from the man that he met all those years ago. And when they squared off years down the line, the bout resulted in the first knockout loss of his career.
Hey,
Unbelievable.
You cannot let Dustin Poirier get going, because once he gets rolling downhill, he is an avalanche and he is going to destroy you. And he I mean, he put it on Conor McGregor. I mean,
And with the score evened up at 1-1, something changed in Conor the second time around. Whether he was trying to reignite the fire he once had, or was simply angered about suffering another major loss, Conor's demeanor was close to the venom he'd carried out in the run-up to that Khabib fight. But those dreams were left in tatters when he broke his tibia, leaving Conor to spew hate from the canvas after another hefty loss.
Give us your thoughts on how it was going. I was boxing the bleeding head off him, kicking the bleeding leg off him. Usual side dive to close the distance. This is not over. If we had to take this outside with him, it's all outside. We don't give a.
He said that he believes that one of the kicks that he checked is what broke your leg.
There was no check. There was not one of them I checked. Your wife is in me DMs, hey baby. Hit me back up, I'll chat to you later on. We'll be at the after party, the Win nightclub, baby. You looking bitch, you little.
To date, we haven't seen Conor in the cage since, but it's fair to say that not fighting has not prevented him from making plenty of headlines, and basically none of them have been good. Instead, he's basically descended into self-parody. Even after he initially lost to Khabib, there was still a sense that Conor could recover, but the signs of the spiral that he's since descended down into had begun in the months following the loss. To begin with, there was the time where he punched an old man for refusing to drink a glass of his proper 12 whiskey. And try as he might to douse the flames of this controversy, Conor struggled to even give an excuse for what he had done.
Did you in fact punch that man?
Look, in respect to the whole entire situation, I'm just we'll let it play out with what happens with what happens.
And with that, the sheen on McGregor's name began to wear off as people began to figure out that he lost himself somewhere along the way. Money and power do not change a man. They reveal his true self. This was by far the only incident of this kind that he'd get caught up in. At one stage, he almost fought MGK on the red carpet. And once again, it was everybody else's fault but his.
What happened?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know. I don't even know the guy, to be honest with you.
Where Conor always tried to escape accountability, one scenario is the fact that he spent much of his time in the spotlight cheating on the mother of his kids, with some alleged conquests of his blatantly outing him. In fact, there have been occasions where he seems to have made advances towards women in full view of the woman he's been with, all the way back since he was an aspiring fighter on government benefits. He embarrasses her every chance he gets and she lets him. But as if that wasn't enough, things have gotten even harder for D to bear with some of the other things he's been accused of. From indecent exposure charges in Corsica, to claims he'd attacked a woman in the bathroom of the Miami Heat arena, it seems that Conor has had a pretty nasty rap sheet. But that's nothing compared to an incident that happened in his home country, when a woman claimed that McGregor placed her in a chokehold and choked her 3 times before grazing her. In the court documents, McGregor claims Nikita Hand had consensual sex with him twice. He also claimed that Hand had sex with his associate and co-defendant James Lawrence. Meanwhile, Nikita says that she never had sex with him. McGregor said that he had a staff member book the room at the Beacon Hotel. Later, Hand's lawyer, John Gordon SC, presented medical records from her gynecological exams, stating that force had been used to remove a tampon that had become lodged inside of her. Yet, McGregor claims Hand was not wearing a tampon while she had sex with him. When asked how he thought it got there, McGregor said, "Not with me." In spite of his attempts to mount a defense, a jury found McGregor liable for sexual assault in a civil trial in November 2024, ordering him to pay Hand nearly £250,000 in damages. Since then, he lost his appeal of this verdict in July. But amid all of his crash out and condemnable behavior that he's been accused of, there's one major demon on his back, and that is the sheer amount of drugs and alcohol he seems to be consuming. Because in recent months, it seems like it's resulted to not just an addiction, but full-on psychosis to go with it. Back when Conor was at the top of the world, he previously claimed that he attempted to evade the temptations of substances that could throw him off that path to greatness.
Conor, you slipped my jab there. I asked you what it was like to party with him. I mean, it was a good answer, but you totally slipped my jab. What's it like to party with him?
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
But once he reached the top of the ladder in the UFC, he stopped taking his own advice. Soon, his love for alcohol was well documented. In truth, it became central to his public image due to owning not one, but 2 alcohol brands in Proper 12 whiskey and Forged Irish Stout. But he wasn't just selling these products, he was consuming them too. In retrospect, he admitted that the way he was partying was one of the major stumbling blocks when it came to his fight with Khabib.
Very quickly there that I just wanted to ask you about, because I think a lot of people would be surprised. You said no liquid in this camp. When's the last time you had a drink?
Couple of months ago, 3-4 months ago maybe, yeah.
Is that a first for you, or at least first in a while?
I was drinking on Bleeding Fight Week last one, I think. It was on the Conor O'Brien show.
Yes.
But I mean...
Prior to the Khabib fight?
Yeah.
You were drinking in the build-up?
Yeah.
3 days. What were you doing?
You know, just, don't know, not doing what I should have been doing.
Celebrating, partying?
Just, I don't know, just not living the life that I should be living, and that's it.
Right.
So I'm not going back there, you know what I mean? I'm in a great spot now, and that's it. And I've made mistakes, and, you know, I've been man enough to admit them.
But in case you're wondering why so many promises of fights that were meant to go down have never come to fruition, you can look no further than the fact that he seems to have been drunk since he broke his leg. And even when he's attempted to train for a return to the cage, he can barely resist it.
Quite refreshing.
Willpower, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm impressed.
I should be celebrating for this, yeah? The thing's winking at me. Look at the cream on top of that. Swap this, yeah, watch. Swap this. I'm not that strong, lads. I'm a strong lad, but I want to train later on, so I want to hold it. Give me a fresh one, then. Just in case. Yeah, layers. I want to wait.
Like thousands of fighters who came before him, Conor had to find something new to replace the roar of the arenas, who once hailed him as their king after he took down another foe. But if you thought drinking was bad, the fact that it's coupled with another bad habit that's gone from recreational to habitual is where the real problem comes. Because, to put it mildly, Conor McGregor has spent much of the past few years coked out of his mind.
When you got out of your vehicle, the crowd erupted.
Fight Canelo, no fucking problem, yeah? Out straight, no problem. What? How do you think you would beat Ilia Abturo, Top Toro?
Where his use of the Colombian marching powder became a meme among MMA circles, Conor began coming after critics who sought to point out what he was doing. For example, when podcaster and noted MMA fan True Gordy expressed concern for his well-being, McGregor went scorched earth with a brutal voice note.
I used to idolize this guy, and for all I think he's been a dick over the years and he's ruined a lot of the way fans used to look at him, he's still a human, and I still wanted him to be the best version of him, and I wasn't coming at it from like a hater point of view, but obviously Conor's probably seen a half-a-minute social clip. That being said, that was then, and since then, he's called me a lot of names.
Mr. Estrogen, what's happening? Bitch tits. Fat fucking bitch tits. Who the fuck are you? You little Burns victim looking thing. Fuck me, man. Who scalded you with a kettle? You fat fuck. You fat nobody.
And during his absence from the cage, his unhinged voice notes on X have become the main event. The vast majority of people who were the recipients of these rants, including Joe Rogan, didn't really take them seriously.
When he was talking about you when Khabib, he's like, that's an illegal knee. Shut up, Joe, you fool, yeah. Call the police, that's an illegal knee.
Listen, I have to do commentary on the rules.
No,
I have to. If someone lands an illegal knee, I have to let the audience know it's illegal.
That was an illegal knee on the head of a grounded opponent. Shut up, Joe, you little fool.
However, there were times where they got dark, such as when he sounded like he was sending a random note to Michael Bisping after McGregor accused him of ruining his legacy.
Do you wanna go to war, man, yeah? Do you wanna go to fucking war? We'll go to war with you, yeah? Security, you little sausage of a thing. Well, how security set you up? Where'd you stay when you're in Vegas again, pal? Little apex fanny pad. Keep my name out of your fucking mouth in any type of threatening behaviour, or I'll walk through your front door. You up like unit, you little dope. You up the manx, yeah? Get back where you belong, you little clown. You little sprinter.
But where he likely sent these notes from the comfort of his home during a crazy binge, McGregor wasn't smart enough to keep it out of the sight of the public. In fact, there were several incidents that made it pretty obvious he had coke in his bloodstream, and the problems just kept coming. Among them was the infamous moment where he appeared to be talking in the direction of famed soccer legend Cristiano Ronaldo, with the Portuguese player wishing he was anywhere else.
What we got now? Who's winning? Who's winning this one?
Although, when people asked if he was off the yayo when this went down, he claimed that it was down to other legal stimulants instead.
This coffee was called a cafecito. It's Cuban coffee. It's unbelievable, but you're running around doing laps.
Then, there was the press tour for his big screen debut alongside Jake Gyllenhaal. While promoting the movie Roadhouse, interviews regularly showed a visibly disheveled and at times incoherent McGregor muddle his way through sentences, while the Oscar-nominated actor to his side looked mildly concerned.
He was patient with me. He gave me guidance, and I just took it. You know, we had a good rapport on set. He has 75 movies made. I have 75 bar fights made. And that's it. We had a good back and forth.
Hi, Conor. I'm Claire Gallagher with the Daily Texan. What can you tell us about your acting debut? Obviously, it's your first experience.
Hard work, but you know, we got it done. It's in the bank for life. You know, you put something in the bank, maybe it's not going to be there for life. You might spend it. This baby is in there for life, and I'm ecstatic about that.
And despite all the evidence that he should be in a rehab facility, Conor had publicly addressed his use of the substance once, and even that was under duress in a court of law. During the trial with Nikita Hand, Conor reportedly replied correct when John Gordon SC stated he had cocaine in his car, along with the alleged victim and another witness. But through it all, Conor has tried to push on as if nothing is wrong. All the while, the public generally believes that his vices had completely corrupted him to the point that he is now beyond redemption. The hardest fight this man will ever have is beating his addictions. The old Conor would despise this guy. McGregor's greatest challenge is his ego. As the years have ticked by from the days where he was once at the height of his career, it feels like things have continued to go from bad to worse for Conor, and more specifically, that every move he makes backfires. In this era, his trash talk is no longer what it once was, and instead, he's mocked by would-be opponents that he once would have been able to dispatch with just a couple of sentences.
Thoughts on Tyson, Jake Paul?
Who gives a bollocks?
Nobody gives a bollocks.
No one gives a fuck about him.
Nobody gives a fuck about that lad.
I hope Mike rattles that little dope.
I hope Tyson fucking cracks that lad.
How was that even in the fucking Dallas Stadium?
How the fuck did they even get a stadium?
This is Mike Tyson Kush, yes?
This is Tyson Weed. Tyson Weed.
There's no one doing it like me. Nobody.
I'm still the fucking king of this shit, right? I'm the king of this shit, right?
Then there was his disastrous attempt to run for Irish presidency on a platform, which basically amounted to him blaming all the problems the country has on immigrants.
The anti-Irish agenda that is taking place in Ireland is a shame, and it is rumbling towards an earthquake with the general public of Ireland. And I raised awareness. I went as far as I could go at this present time, but Ireland, under its political cartel, is not a place for new voices, and it is an undemocratic process that is taking place, and it's an absolute shame, a travesty. Nothing to do with Rosie O'Donnell. I don't know Rosie. She's a comedian and whatnot. I believe she's in Ireland. She's been on a few talk shows. I have no issue with Rosie. I am for my country. I'm a God-fearing patriot, and may God-fearing patriotism win in this fight against evil, and that is what it is. There's so much travesty taking place in Ireland.
And the more he's continued down this path, the more that it becomes clear he wasn't cut out for politics.
When Conor McGregor visited the White House on St. Patrick's Day, he said it was high time that America was made aware of what's going on in Ireland for spreading misinformation about what's going on in Ireland. McGregor claimed Dublin has gone from being one of the safest cities in Europe to one of the most dangerous in the space of 10 years. McGregor based that claim on a viral image of two side-by-side headlines that has spread through racist circles on the internet since January. These are real headlines. The one on the left is an Irish Examiner article from 2003, and one on the right is a Sunday World article from 2024. The Examiner article was based on a study by an international consultancy firm. The Sunday World article was based on completely unreliable data provided by an online gambling company, which used stats from a website called Numbeo. Here's what Numbeo has to say about its own content. Quote, "There is absolutely no assurance that any statement contained on the website is correct or precise." So data from Numbeo is not a great place to start if we want to compare crime rates in different cities. In fact, he's useless.
All the while, his reputation in the nation was so bad that he was reduced to being a punchline for comedians from the country to roast him and get a massive ovation for doing so.
And he's up the top.
In the middle, there's all the rest of us plebs. And down the bottom of the Irish class system, it's one person. His name is Conor McGregor. And he is him out. What a wanker. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I know. Shocking. Sometimes I get confused because I'm like, we're usually sound. That's kind of our thing. Where the fuck did he come from? He's like a glitch in the Irish system. What a wanker.
Eventually, he tried to pull out of the race as he claimed it wasn't the right time. But in all likelihood, it never will be. That wasn't the only issue he's facing either, as things have not been going so well when it comes to his original profession too. After his proposed fight with Michael Chandler never took place, Conor devoted his energy to his ownership role in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
What's more badass than bare knuckle and American rock and roll? Nothing, baby, that's what.
And while you'd think that role would require him to keep his composure, he generally looks even more deranged than usual.
And this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's the king of violence? Come on, boys, let's go. Baseball.
It's Mike Perry, Jerry Stevens, perhaps a fight with McGregor on the line.
That said, not everything he's done since stepping into this role has been defined by chaos. At times, he's even exhibited signs that he wants to turn his life around. There's even been some reflection these days, with one press conference leading him to acknowledge that the notoriety and fame that came with his rise to power almost destroyed him.
I tell you this, to promote on its own is easy, and also, coincidentally, to fight on its own is easy. People don't really realize that. You know, you get these fighters, they come up and it's no one cares about you. You rock in under the radar, no one asks you a question, you get to show up and have fun and do your thing. Then when you rise, you've got to add this promotional anthem to it, and both of them combined is incredibly draining. And I wouldn't be the first to tell you, it almost broke me, and to be honest, maybe it did break me as I went on and I achieved massive success and global, out of this otherworldly superstardom. It overcame me at times. So to promote and fight at a high level deserves support and respect.
Shortly after disappearance, he claimed that he'd embarked on a spiritual journey.
I am not here just by chance. There is a higher power, God, that dictates my journey and all of our journeys. And I live my life by God's word. Since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey, and I'm saved, I am healed. And you know, my competitive spark that was once in my heart is now a roaring blaze. You know, I'm eager to get back, and right now I had to dial myself in and go inward, and that I done. And now I'm in a stage where I come back and show again what I'm about.
I just want to take this time to take my hat off and commend Conor McGregor for making the kind of change that he had to make. It's not easy, and you're going to see the best Conor McGregor you've ever seen when he returns to the octagon.
Thank you, brother.
And now, the difference between what we've seen from Conor in the past couple of years and the man that's re-emerged is quite different.
I wish all my combatants well. May we turn our knuckles to knives and raise the roof on the Prudential Center. Long live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Long live Dave Feldman. Long live the Prudential Center. And long live the Notorious. Let's go. And we're with you all the way. I cannot wait. I'm here with my own family. My La Familia here, my beautiful children. My fiance, wife to be soon, and we love Rome, Italy very much. Thank you so much for your hospitality and your love. We cannot wait to get this weekend started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Let's go Rome, Italia. We are family, baby. Let's go.
But while taking control of his life is a positive for McGregor and his family, the problem is that as far as the public goes, he's already used up their tolerance. It's even gotten so bad that he's despised by his fellow legends of the combat world.
Now, another big name that you've been linked with over the years, and there was very big rumours about you and Conor McGregor. I know Umar Kremlev has said that he wants to maybe stage that fight one day in Russia. Do you think that would ever happen, you boxing Conor McGregor, or you having a crossover fight?
Oh yeah, that's possible also with Conor McGregor.
If you had the choice between fighting Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov, who would you fight and why?
McGregor.
And why would it be McGregor, not Khabib?
Too much. I want to shut his mouth out.
Do you prefer that somebody at Khabib is very humble, very, is a very religious man? You prefer that type of person?
He's a nice guy. He's a nice person. humble, and that's an inspiration. A good role model for sports.
At 37 years of age, Conor has not competed professionally since July 2021, but despite the ring rust he's picked up, talk has recently turned to the possibility of a return, and it appears that the proposed UFC card at the White House is the goal.
Coming back, he's in the pool, he's doing his thing, he's all kinds of footage of him training. You know, he wants to fight on this White House card. We'll see. I mean, we won't start building that card till February.
That's a big card.
And then when's the election? The Irish presidential election.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Because like, which one is which one is he more focused on?
All the polling is saying that he's going to win by a landslide.
No, really?
Oh hell yes. The polling's saying he's going to crush the election. So they're doing everything they can to try to keep him off the ballot.
But it isn't just Dana who's making these claims. Conor is actively lobbying for it.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait to put on the show.
And in every media appearance, he insists that he's taking this as seriously as possible.
Oh, I have 8 months and change out to the White House event. It's a 6-month operation. You know, I consider it a 6-month operation to get ready for this bout. Period of isolation for sure, where the phone will not be answered. All my people involved with me understand that it is coming. And as I said, it's a 6-month operation. I'm under no illusion of what lies ahead of me in my preparation efforts. The phone will be switched off and the work will be executed. That's my focus right now. I'm just eager to climb the steps into being ready for my return. There's a lot at stake and I'm very excited at the opportunity. I was right there with my last one. I was in incredible condition. Just a slight lapse in concentration led to an injury. I wish to correct that and show what I'm about.
But after hearing about so many new beginnings for McGregor over the years, it's no surprise that others don't see it. Most notably, former UFC lightweight and current welterweight champion, Islam Makhachev.
You know, there was like a lot of talk about people wanting to see Conor McGregor come back at the White House card. Do you think that that's something that the UFC needs or wants to see?
No, this guy's never come back. Khabib broke his mind, you know. This guy never come back. He's not gonna fight anymore. I told this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I still think he's not gonna fight.
So you think, like, I mean, Khabib...
And now he have like disqualification from the anti-doping commission, something I heard. And that's why I think no. Maybe John Jones will come back to fight in White House, but not Conor.
If most UFC fighters have done half of what McGregor has in the past few years, a return would look impossible. But being responsible for the vast majority of their biggest fight cards of all time means that he'll be giving all the leeway he wants. So the only questions are whether Conor can find the drive to put the demons behind him and rediscover the spark which once made him one of the most exciting fighters ever to grace the octagon. Because even if the public hates him these days, that doesn't mean they won't tune in to see him fight just for the possibility that he might get his ass kicked. However it plays out, McGregor has a lot of ground to make up to be who he once was. And among all the scores he's had to settle, the biggest one is with the man that stares out at him from the mirror.